Did I ever tell you what the definition of insanity is? Insanity is doing the exact same fucking thing over and over again, expecting it to change. That is crazy.
Now, when I make these update videos, I try not to be biased when it comes to updates versus updates, because, some updates are obviously better than others. The pit's obviously better than Fight for Freedom, for example. This doesn't mean I don't compare them, however. You see, before I make these videos, I think in my head, what updates are closest to this update? For example, when the pit came out, I thought, oh, well, this is closest to the Raceland, this update. Now, granted, I didn't play when that came out, but, it's still the same idea. So, without a shadow of a doubt, I can tell you 100%, this update is just the pit 2.0. Now, before we speedrun this video, let me just do a little bit of a review, perhaps we'll say. Because you see, this update is still an update, and it's my job to cover what's in this update. Am I right, or am I right? So here's how this video will work. I'm going to go over what I noticed when I played the PTS, and I'm going to go over what's actually in the PTS, aka what's actually new, and what you may have not noticed, or what I may have not noticed. So with all that said and done, go ahead and grab your popcorn, grab your soda or water, whatever the hell you drink, and sit back as I go over the new update. So I decided to start with the good because there is some good. For example, the new Atlantic area looks amazing, even on low graphics settings, so that way I can record without any stuttering or anything. It still looks very good. I especially like the Showman Pier and the underwater area. I forgot the name of it, I'm not gonna lie to you. But those two areas, they look really good. If anything, I argue that they're the best looking areas in Fallout in general. I also think the characters and the theme in general fits very well for an expedition. Because, come on, the characters are a little silly, while also having a serious story to it, and it's pretty interesting. Is it more interesting than the pit? Nah. But is it an interesting story in general? Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. The new awards are pretty cool. I haven't gotten to use them personally, but I've seen them. They let you have every single slot machine in the pit. Not pit, sorry, Atlantic. They let you have every slot machine in the Atlantic, while also letting you have all the other fun stuff they have, like horse track and roulette. AKA, you can turn your base into a giant casino. Come on, who doesn't want that? There's also overgrown stuff, which if you don't know, there's some enemies that are named overgrown. They're basically these like plant monsters, and basically they have these like really over-vegetated ARs and other types of guns, and you can get their skins, which is pretty cool. I'm not complaining. It's content, right? Alright, let's see, what's on the good points in this little list here? Oh no. Yeah, that's all I can really say good about this update. It's saddening, it really is, but at the end of the day, we have to think of it from the bad points as well. The main bad point I have about this update is none of the objectives in either of the Atlantic expeditions are new. I'm gonna stay silent for a minute. You just look at these objectives and tell me what's different about them other than location and AI. Yeah, there's nothing different. Literally, they've grabbed and copied and pasted a bunch of objectives. The only one I like is the one that references Bioshock. And the only reason I like it is because it references Bioshock. And you wanna know what's worse about them copying and pasting the objectives? They decided to add a new objective, right? One new side objective, where you speedrun the entire expedition. Not once, but twice. It's in both of them. And it's annoying because if you're new to the expedition, you want to explore around the map and see what's going on, you have to speedrun if you want 3 stars. Which means you have to basically beat the expedition in a speedrun, no matter when you start it, no matter how many times you played it, and it's really fucking annoying. Now, for the veteran players, they might be like, oh, well, that's great, because I usually speedrun expeditions anyway, so what's the problem? The problem is, now you have to. So let's say that there's that little objective where you have to grab supplies from a fucking teddy bear, where now you have to speedrun to do that, and the entire expedition, because if you don't, you lose out on stamps, legendaries, and modules, everything that you need to progress in the game. So yeah, if you don't care about looking around and all that, it'll be hunky-dory, but if you're like me, we have to grab photo modes and do some crazy little photos in the expeditions, you can't. unless you beat the expedition. But while you're doing that, you have to do the side objectives, or else you're just screwed. Like, if you're gonna copy and paste objectives, why not just grab all of them from each of those things? Like, can you really not put another supply cache? Can you really not just put a bunch of dead bodies and make me loot their collars or something? Like, really? Oh, but don't worry, they made it so one of the objectives makes you taunt after murdering every single one of your victims. It's annoying. It's very annoying. I absolutely hate the shit out of it. And look, I hate to be negative about this game. I like this game. It's one of my favorite Fallouts, right? But when you sit here, make me wait till December 5th to play this on my main character, just to have no new content, or reuse content, or really horrible new content, it's not a good impression. The only thing I'm excited for in your next update isn't even the main update point, it's the fact that you're adding faction-based locations. It hurts my brain, it hurts my noggin. Do you know this is coming out December 5th, by the way? 2 new expeditions in some new areas, all that you have to wait 2 months for. It's... my brain hurt. Now what's even worse is it's been a day since that last bit of audio I recorded, and they released an update which added the stuff from the patch notes other than the Atlantic, which means that the Atlantic has less content than it did before I made this video. I was gonna have a whole part where I talked about the patch notes, but why? They literally added 90% of the stuff on the patch notes, except the Atlantic. My brain hurts. Still. Now, they talked about having a part 2, which adds content, but that's the thing. This is barely even a part 1. Like, there's literally nothing here, and what was here was added to the base game already. Overview, right? The main update premise, really good. Atlantic's very fun, and even though they reuse objectives, I still had some fun in it. The downsides is there's nothing here. We're waiting 2 more months for literally almost nothing, unless they surprise me out of the blue and add a bunch of content down the road. They are adding faction-based locations. I wouldn't get excited. They're just normal areas, but with like Brotherhood of Steel members and responders and all those types of people. Overall, I am disappointed and my day is ruined. Side notes, because I don't plan on making a video on these. The Spooky Scorched update will be out soon. I don't know when exactly, but it should be halfway through this month, if I could guess. Let me think, what else is there? Oh yeah, they added a new root cellar. It doesn't look bad at all, actually. I like it. I kind of want to get the mausoleum stuff, though. Fallout's birthday will soon be happening. I probably will make a video on it, but it won't be a super long video like this one because all there really is, or at least what seems to be, is challenges. They give you like a birthday cake, you get a birthday suit for free, which should be cool. Bunch of free rewards that don't look bad. I'll probably use them when they come out, but yeah, thought I should mention it here. Speaking of mentioning stuff, I made a video about the last update. You should go watch it here. Or maybe if you want some damage done, you can watch this video where I talk about my DPS build and how insanely busted it is. But with all that said and done, y'all have a good day and stay safe.